some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They're so close that we're barely going to be getting any value on the plus side of things. I think there's a little bit of value on the Blue Jays today, but it's an awesome division. Like, I don't want to see teams running away and be up by 12 games in first place. We want to see teams constantly battling for first place.
They hit a team total. I love that. So as many times as we get bad beats, you do get the same amount of good beats typically in your direction if you wait long enough.
Pro Baseball today, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that.
Let's roll. The Monday Night Meltdown has begun. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pitch, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Monday Night Meltdown has begun, and we've got a lot of stuff to break down on the Meltdown on the SportsGrid radio and television network, SiriusXM channel 159. Free agency set to begin in both the National Basketball Association and the NHL. There's been more movement association in the last couple hours than there has been in the National Hockey League, but nothing too significant. There hasn't been any blockbuster moves in the National Basketball Association. D'Angelo Russell signed with the Mavericks. Clint Capella is on the move again, stuff like that. But Dorian Finney-Smith with the Houston Rockets. For the most part, like I said, there hasn't been anything like blockbuster, but the National Hockey League has been quite interesting, albeit there's a pretty thin free agent class. So teams were pretty aggressive trying to keep their players or swing a deal before the July 1st free agent frenzy. Mitch Marner officially off the market. We all thought that Mitch Marner was going to go to the West Coast. Some people thought the Ducks could be in play potentially. Some people thought the LA Kings were going to be in play. And yes, it's true. Both the Ducks and the Kings did want to sign Mitch Marner, but he wanted to sign with the Las Vegas Golden Knights. He does. He gets $12 million a year. So Mitch Marner is now a Las Vegas Golden Knight. And the Florida Panthers, for those out there hoping that the Florida Panthers' demise was coming because they wouldn't be able to keep everybody, well, they did keep everybody. And players are taking hometown discounts to stay with the Florida Panthers because they're the defending champions. And why would you want to leave? Not to mention, people can dismiss it all you want, but it's a tax-free environment. So making less money there adds up to making more money somewhere else, actually. So why leave, right? Like the grass isn't always greener type of deal. It's like, yeah, you'll make a couple of more bucks playing somewhere else, but you're leaving a Stanley Cup team and you're not paying any state income tax. To put it in context, too, people often talk about it, but Brad Marchand's a good example. So he re-ups with the Panthers for a hell of a lot less than he would have gotten on the market, actually. Now, you can argue about the years of it. He got 6 years, and everybody seems to be getting 6 years in the NHL now. That seems to be the thing. Hell, Connor Garland got 6 years. But Marchand is clearly underpaid at what he's making, but the deal is kind of longer. But to put in context, he's pretty much making the same amount of money as he was with the Boston Bruins, give or take. And I saw that they broke it down as far as when you break it down after taxes, it's 20%. So he makes 20% more, or he saves 20% by playing for for the Panthers. So we got $32 million. So that's $6.4 million. That, like, if you don't think that matters to somebody, I have people on X coming at me. Well, how come people in the NBA and the NFL don't care? Because they're not signing the biggest deal of their life for $32 million only. Think about it. If you're making $32 million, that's your last contract. This will be his last contract. Dude's going to be like 43 when it's all said and done. Right? He probably won't even last that long, and the Panthers just figure whatever. It's not a lot of money, so we'll worry about it down the road. But if you're getting like $32 million, would you want to say, okay, I could play here, I could play in Boston, but I'm going to make $6 million more to play on this better team in warm weather, and I'll keep the $6 million instead of losing it. All right, let's do the math. Add it up for another player. So Sam Bennett just got $8 million per for like 8 years. So let's do the math on that. If he's saving 20%, let's say, from playing somewhere else, and that's Boston. That's not like Toronto or something or Vancouver, right? They're getting hit even more with the tax. So like, if you don't think that like if that's relevant, then you're either like a billionaire, and I don't think we have any billionaires tuning into the program, or you're naive, or dumb, right? So there's a couple of possibilities there, but like people, oh no, the taxes, no, it's overblown. The taxes, it's overblown. What's overblown about it? I just gave you the numbers. Brad Marchand just saved $6.4 million by playing with the Panthers. If he would have done the same deal with the Maple Leafs, he probably would have given up about $8 million of that instead of the $6 million, right? Like, add it up. Like, it's not like you don't have to be an economist to figure it out that they have an advantage, especially when it comes to re-signing people, right? Because you've already gotten a taste of not paying it. So, like, you have to start doing the math in your head about, we've told a story before. Steven Stamkos came close to signing with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the Leafs offered the deal and the Lightning offered the deal, and it was $23 million difference. Stamkos told them, I will lose $23 million if I sign this deal with you guys as opposed to signing the same contract with Tampa. So you don't think that helps? like really? You don't think that matters? Of course it matters. If you're Shohei Ohtani, you're getting $770 million or whatever. Now, what I don't understand, and one thing I don't get, is like the Toronto Blue Jays figured it out with Santander, right? Because it's the same thing with baseball players. Not everybody's excited about the tax, but they're making more money, so it doesn't bother them as much, right? Santander's getting, like $35 million or whatever, you know what I mean, a year type of deal. Is making pretty big money. 30 mil, whatever it is. I think it's 35, 30, whatever. So he's making pretty big money, but there's like a loophole in the Canadian tax law about work bonuses. The Blue Jays figured it out. They basically gave him like a huge chunk that was technically a bonus, and now they don't really owe him all that much money. He didn't have to pay tax on it. So I don't understand why NHL teams haven't gotten as creative as the Blue Jays did there. I mean, I don't fault them for not figuring it out before. There's always different loopholes, and they realize what they can do and what they can't do. But the Blue Jays, it was pretty slick of them, and I've seen agents on Twitter talk about it in somewhat of a defense of the tax-free teams, in which it's that, yeah, it's a little bit of an advantage, but the fact of the matter is, if the Canadian teams get creative, there's ways around this, and you can figure it out. But I don't know if they don't want to, they're not doing it, or whatnot. But it is what it is. So the Florida Panthers they're going to have the same team back again, right? So the Panthers, they retained everybody. Ekblad's back. Seth Jones is back. Marchand's back. Bennett's back. They're all back. Mitch Marner's a Leaf. People in Vancouver are hating life on a minute-by-minute basis, no matter what the Vancouver Canucks do. People in Toronto are waiting for another move. They did get Nick Roy back, so they're waiting for another move here now in Toronto. Like we said, as far as the association, there's nothing massive. The only kind of big news is LeBron James's agent is sort of talking like maybe LeBron won't end his career in Los Angeles, but at this point, I really don't care. And, dude, you're already seen as, kind of a title chaser as it is. At what point is it okay, it's good, I'm just happy with my own legacy and stuff? What team exactly do you want to join anyways? Well, you want to join the Oklahoma City Thunder? I don't really like what team, like, you have Luka Doncic. Oh, I want a chance of winning, and I got to be on a contending team. You are a contending team. You're like 41 years old or something, bro. Like, the Thunder just won without you. Like, what team do you want to go join? I don't really understand, like, what the motive is with this, with LeBron. It's not LeBron. It's his people, and they're saying, no, it's not true. Just, yeah, well, whatever. We've seen this movie before. The meltdown has begun.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Lost Pages. Let's get lucky.
SportsRage, it's the Monday Night Meltdown. I am Gabriel Morency. Sirius XM channel 159. I don't know if we got an upset in the making, but we kind of do, sort of. We're in the 50th minute right now of the second half. Man City had a 1-0 lead after 45 against Al Hilal, the Saudi Giants. And Al Hilal had been all over them to start the second half and scored an early goal, actually, in the 46th minute. We're in the 50th minute right now. We got ourselves a tie game, 1-1. And we saw Inter Milan get knocked out earlier in the day. Fluminense, the Brazilian side, moves on, beats them 2-0. We got two Brazilian teams in the final 8 right now. And if you recall, before the tournament started, we talked about how the Brazilian teams and the Argentinian teams were going to be dark horses. It turned out to be the Brazilian sides because they're motivated not only to showcase their league, but also by the money. And a good example is Fluminense now have collected $26 million so far by getting this far. They're going to make more for their next game no matter what happens. Al Hilal with a breakaway right now. And Al Hilal is just taking a 2-1 lead on Man City. All hell is breaking loose in Orlando, Florida. Wow. They're going crazy. Like, they don't have that many fans there. Most of the fans there are Man City fans. But, like, the players right now at Al Hilal are legit going crazy. And it seems like everybody in the building, not like they're cheering against Man City just because, Al Hilal are the underdogs. We got a 2-1 game, Cam, in the 51st minute. Man City were minus 400 favorites on the money line. Very big favorites in this game. Of course, I've got a minus 1.5. That's dead. They were up 1-0 earlier, and it was looking good. And I also have them to win the game with Erling Haaland to score a goal. Erling Haaland has not scored a goal. He didn't score the goal, and now they're losing 2-1. We got a big upset in the making here. We'll get you the updated number now that it's 2-1 in this match. Man City are now plus 187 to come back in regulation. Plus 175 draw after 90 minutes. Al Hilal are plus 175 to win the match right now. We've got 3 goals. We're only in the 52nd minute. In-game total is now 4.5. Over 4.5, minus 125. I don't know. I'm colder than Mr. Freeze right now, guys. I'm on Man City here, so. But
it happens.
Yeah, it does. But I am. It does, but unfortunately I am. And I would think there'd be 2 more goals in this game. Like, I wouldn't be in a hurry to be betting the under here.
I agree.
You figure Man City responds. And quite frankly, the way Al Hilal are playing right now, they might score again. Like, they're really, really pushing. Like, and last thoughts on this, and we'll move on. I've been watching all these games, and the fact of the matter is these European teams cannot handle the heat. Like, they're really, like, having a problem with it. They're not the same. Inter Milan today looked like they were going to collapse on the pitch. They were playing, it was like they were in slow motion. Like, it was just too hot for them. It was in Charlotte in the middle of the afternoon, and they're playing a Brazilian team, and the Brazilian dudes were flying around, man, like it was a brisk November day. And Inter Miami were struggling. Like, you could see, man, one dude on Inter Miami, like, looked like he was melting, Cam. Like, he had so much sweat pouring down his face. And, like, he was, like, you could just see, same thing tonight. You could see Man City, bro. They're sort of slow. Like, they're having a hard time. And they're in Orlando tonight. You know it's hot as hell in Orlando.
Oh, big time.
Like,
you know
and
me,
you got a bunch of dudes that play in Saudi Arabia. Like, they're used to this heat.
They're playing with camels. It's like, hey, 130, no problem. Like, they're just laughing.
They're laughing. They're like, it's 90 degrees. What are you guys bitching about?
I love it.
I told you there'd be a goal. Already there's a goal. Man City just scored.
I like that over. I wish we hit it. I like that over. But to your point, soccer players are the finest tuned athletes ever. And I don't care, England or whatever. And you and Tommy were talking about in the break, Gabe. I understand, you do train in elevation and winter places in England and stuff, but that's no excuse for it. You're supposed to be super athletes who play for one of the best sides in the world. And you have a bunch of guys. I get Al Hilal. They got money and stuff, but it doesn't matter. Like, you said it. It's not 150 degrees. Like, as a soccer player, up and down, up and down, up and down. That's why you have great cardio. That's why you are the athlete that you are. So you're going to have to dig deep and do something. But a lot of these heavy favorites and these club teams that are the best in the world, they're getting a dose of reality. You better be ready to play these teams and want to kick your ass. That's another thing. Minus 400 favorites and all the other stuff. These teams get up for these matches like we're playing the best guys in the world. Like, if you know what I mean? It's just one of those situations. Like, everything they have, they're going to put into to beat a team like Man City.
So now it's 2-2, and Erling Haaland was the one that just scored the goal,
Nice.
everybody. So we just talked about we need Haaland to score the goal, and we've got Man City to win, Haaland parlay, but we also have Man City minus 1.5. But as I said, you figure to be more goals in this game. There's a VAR right now. They're reviewing it to see if anybody was offside. I really don't understand, like, the offside in the box. Like, once you're in the box, like, how are you offside? Like, it's too extreme. You're offside on a corner kick. It's like, whatever, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got the ball this far. It's like saying you're offside in the crease. Like, there's certain levels of being offside. I get it. But, like, soccer, they do it all the way down the field. So it's like you could be offside like a foot in front of the net somehow, right? And, it's a little bit petty. It goes against the nature of what the offside rule really should be. But this is an entertaining match, I'll tell you what, right now. So we got a 2-2 game. And Al Hilal just pressed and nearly scored right after. They're looking to see if there's like a penalty kick now. Like Al Hilal's dude just got tripped in the box, actually. He thinks it's a penalty, and they're actually reviewing it now. This over 4.5 might hit already, guys. I think there's going to be a penalty shot here.
By the time we're done our segment, you're like, 3.5, 4, 5. It's like,
4.5 goals. It's like, gotta be more goals here. Yeah.
I got to be honest with you, Morency, this thing might hit 6 or 7. That's the whole thing. And you talk about the heat and sloppiness in soccer and things like that. Things can change on a dime in these type of games. So you're right. And I agree with you with the offside stuff, especially when you're like kicking the ball and the guy's like right beside the guy. Oh, it's offside. It's like, come on, bro. Like they call it. It's so tic-tac. Anyway, I think there's more goals in this game. I don't think we're done yet.
They've called offside before for a dude's hair.
I know.
Like the computer line picks up your hair type thing. So like Buddy's hairdo was flying forward. It's like, come on,
Moose. Seriously.
It's like, really? Like, that's why you tell the players, put your hair in a damn ponytail.
Exactly.
Don't want your hair being offside.
As we know, it's just we enter every year and it's like, is this the Ravens' time? Is this Lamar Jackson's turn? Can they get past the Chiefs and all of these other, stalwarts of the AFC? But it's always really about Kansas City when we're talking Baltimore.
This potentially, Adam, as I send it back to you, potentially is a game changer in that you get a very talented quarter at a discount price.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
We are seeing unbelievable temperature surges over the past couple days. So I wanted to ask you this question to let the people know, like, how do we account for that in our handicapping? Like, 2 good pitchers on the mound, but you look at a place like Wrigley Field, let's just say, 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, 90-plus degree temperatures. Is it almost like you say to yourself, you just have to fade the environment and not worry about the pitchers? Because if we're hitting fly balls, they're going yard.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Was the first time, I think, in Dodgers history that the ballpark was full in the first inning. Everybody was there to see Shohei Ohtani throw his first pitch as a Dodger, and I had mixed emotions about this for a few reasons. Number one, it was a reminder of, wow, this is so crazy, right? You're watching him hit 98, 99, even 100 on the radar gun going, this guy's not human. Nobody should be able to be this good of a hitter or this good of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
I can't even believe I'm saying pitcher's battle and using the words Patrick Corbin. But can I tell you, Scott, he's a different guy. He's a totally different guy with the Rangers than we've seen.
I say this all the time. Don't worry about the first 5 innings. Like, don't even watch the first 5 innings in Texas Ranger games. Because for whatever reason, there's a ton of runs scored in the first 5, and then it just stops. It just stops.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people, the bust, everybody else in between. The Monday night meltdown has begun. NBA free agency ready to rock and roll. It got started at 6 o'clock Eastern tonight, and the floodgates have opened. There's been a lot of moves, but there hasn't been there's nothing like blockbuster, nothing over the top. There's been a couple of nice little moves here and there. I think the Houston Rockets are definitely open for business and getting aggressive right now. Bringing in Dorian Finney-Smith. They're trying to add some type of winners to their team. But, the Atlanta Hawks are another one. The Hawks bringing in Alexander Walker, right? Not a blockbuster move, but a good basketball player. The Hawks already brought in Porzingis so far this offseason. But for the most part, like I said, there's nothing massive. And similar to the National Hockey League, kind of anticlimactic. We kind of all knew that Mitch Marner was going to go to the Las Vegas Golden Knights. He ended up going to the Vegas Golden Knights. When it was all said and done, he got $12 million per year. Brad Marchand staying with Florida. not a surprise. Somewhat of a surprise what little money he actually took to stay there. Yet, you could say, all right, let's say he would have gotten 3 years, $10 million from someone. He got 32 for 6, and I don't think anybody really thinks he'll play 6 years, and he's going to get a big bonus and all that type of stuff. But you could argue he could have gotten more money somewhere else. But as I said it off the top, it's a 20% difference essentially playing for the Florida Panthers. As I saw somebody broke down Marchand's contract from Boston to Florida, and he saves 20% by playing. So put that in context of $32 million. All right, $32 million, 10% is 3.2, 20% is 6.4. He saved $6.4 million by signing with the Florida Panthers. So anybody that thinks that this stuff isn't real, like, you're just an idiot. Like, it is real. Like, players save money. Like,
you're just an idiot. And the thing is,
people say,
"Oh
no, the tax stuff doesn't matter." It clearly matters. You're saving 20%.
The Panthers got friggin' Bennett, Ekblad, and Marchand for $19 million, and look what these other teams are paying: 12.5. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. How much money they saved for those three players.
Even Mitch Marner could have gotten 14 from Columbus or Utah if he wanted or something, right? Like. But he took 12 from Vegas, Joe, because it's like, all right, I'm saving, compared to Toronto, he's saving like 30%, 35% now. So he's like, all right, either way, I'm going to make a lot of money here with the $12 million per. But nice move for the Vegas Golden Knights. I said this last year in the playoff show about Vegas, that you just sort of see, like, they've done a great job with, when they came into the league, they did a great job with expansion. They've always been an old team, Vegas. Right? Like, they don't have young star prospects. They've been very, let's sign this free agent and let's get this older dude. And it's worked for them, but it's catching up to them right now. So they needed an influx of youth, and Marner brings them that.
Oh, absolutely. Mitch Marner is going to be great here for the Vegas Golden Knights. And I love that they were able to lock him in for so many years. An 8-year deal is beneficial for both him and them. So I think Vegas has just got so much stronger adding Mitch Marner. Just hopefully he doesn't bring any drama for the locker room there, because Vegas doesn't need that.
Well, I'm not expecting any drama. I think Toronto, I'm not going to say he was an angel, but I think the Toronto media cam was more the drivers of it. Me and McInnes were talking about it. A great example is, look, Cam, and Mitch Marner playing with Team Canada with other good players, there wasn't any problems, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he needs, if he's in the right environment and stuff like that. Listen, he was immature when he was young, but he was never a problem in the room, really. You know what I mean? Like, he was just a media lightning rod. And he'll be missed. He'll be missed by Toronto. Like, people are all like dumping on him, and he sucks, and he's pirouette, and he cried in the penalty box, and like all this stuff. And I can't wait, Cam. All these Leaf fans talking next June when Marner's playing deep in the playoffs, getting it done with Vegas, and the Leafs are eliminated again.
Are the Leafs a better team? No, they're worse. Mitch Marner's amazing. They signed Nyes, which I said, Gabe, he's the new golden boy in the team. But you're going to miss 102 points a year? You damn right you are. And there were many nights that he was the better player than Matthews and whatever. So Mitch Marner is a great hockey player. And when you talked about it, at least he needed to build, not get weaker. I think it's a huge loss for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Vegas's game.
Yeah, and what you Leaf fans that like hate Marner so much don't understand is he set other people up a lot. Like, now, where's that going to come from? Like, he set other people up for 1 million different goals, man.
As we know, it's just we enter every year, and it's, is this the Ravens' time? Is this Lamar Jackson's turn? Can they get past the Chiefs and all of these other, stalwarts of the AFC? But it's always really about Kansas City when we're talking Baltimore.
This potentially, Adam, as I send it back to you, potentially is a game changer in that you get a very talented quarter at a discount price.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
we are seeing unbelievable temperature surges over the past couple days. So I wanted to ask you this question to let the people know, like, how do we account for that in our handicapping? Like, two good pitchers on the mound, but you look at a place like Wrigley Field, let's just say, 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, 90-plus degree temperatures. Is it almost like you say to yourself, you just have to fade the environment and not worry about the pitchers, because if we're hitting fly balls, they're going yard?
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
It was the first time, I think, in Dodgers history that the ballpark was full in the first inning. Everybody was there to see Shohei Ohtani throw his first pitch as a Dodger, and I had mixed emotions about this for a few reasons. Number one, it was a reminder of, wow, this is so crazy, right? You're watching him hit 98, 99, even 100 on the radar gun going, this guy's not human. Nobody should be able to be this good of a hitter and this good of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
I can't even believe I'm saying pitcher's battle and using the words Patrick Corbin. But can I tell you, Scotty, he's a different guy. He's a totally different guy with the Rangers than we've seen.
I say this all the time. Don't worry about the first 5 innings. Like, don't even watch the first 5 innings in Texas Ranger games, because for whatever reason, there's a ton of runs scored in the first 5, and then it just stops. It just stops.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
SportsRage continues. I'm Gabriel Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. So we're keeping our eye on the free agency stuff. More so the NBA right now. Nothing's going on in the NHL. I guess some stuff will happen in the morning. But I got to tell you, man, TSN and Sportsnet, they're going to have like 212 people on their panels and sets tomorrow. And I guess they're going to talk about Nicholas Ehlers signing for 6 hours, because there's really not many people. Well, guys, Nicholas Ehlers signed like...
Yeah, you notice how
like,
they
who are
do
you going to
this
talk
stuff,
about?
Gabe? Right before free agent day. Hey, Canada Day, the Blitz, and all the big moves today, yesterday. You know what I mean? They always do this. Now they're going to leave them talking like about puck bags.
You figure they should learn though, and like just shorten the coverage every year. Yes. Go, all right, guys, we've learned our lesson. Like we've had
there's no lessons learned.
They spend $2 million. They hire everybody. Like TSN guys literally has like 5 different desks in their studio. So they got their main desk with Mackenzie and Dreger. They're all on their cell phones looking down. And then they got like another desk with like 4 other dudes. Then they got another desk with like 4 other dudes. Then they got another one with like another, well, let's get their opinion now on this. Right? They literally have like 16 people in the studio. And there's nothing to talk about. Like, you know what I mean? All right, so you got Brock Besser's available. Ehlers is available. Patrick Kane just re-signed with Detroit tonight. No one's available, Joe. I don't know what they're going to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to talk about either. I guess they're just going to go back to all of the trades that have happened over the last couple of days and kind of dig into those a little bit more, analyze those, and just go from there. So I don't know what else you'd be talking about tomorrow.
All right. So we've got a 2-2 game right now, and entertaining stuff this evening in Orlando, Florida, as we got a 2-2 game. We're in the 70th minute right now, but there's going to be a lot of extra time added in this game. There's a lot of like this and that and water breaks and all this other type of stuff. Look at this dude, look at this guy on Al Hilal. Like, he looks like he's sweating like 5 pounds, a second here. Like, just the amount of sweat. Insanely hot in Orlando tonight. All right, so the Toronto Blue Jays, big time win tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays, and it's getting real right now. Look forward to Kurtz joining us a little bit later on. It's getting real in the American League East now. The Blue Jays have cut the Yankees' lead to 2 games, and the Rays lost tonight. The Rays could have been only a half game back of the Yankees, but Rays lose, Blue Jays win. Rays are now a game and a half out of first place. Blue Jays are now 2 games out. There's a 4-game series with the Blue Jays and the Yankees in Toronto, and tomorrow is Canada Day. So it's like the 4th of July for Canada. And the Blue Jays always play on Canada Day, an afternoon home game. It's always sold out. is always a big deal, and especially when they're good. And tomorrow is going to be a big-time day tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern in Toronto. Now that they're only 2 games out of first place, Joe, you got Max Fried going against Gossman tomorrow. And I'll tell you what, over the years, guys, there's been some really classic pitchers duels on Canada Day. Someone was just posting a Pat Henkin, Pedro Martinez one from years ago. There was the Roger Clemens, Jeff Juden classic, like one-hitter game. There's been some really good pitchers duels over the years, and it looks like it's lining up for one tomorrow, although it's going to be hot. The Yankees are minus 165 favorites. Blue Jays plus 140. Total is 8. What do you think about that game, Joe? And what do you think about the live baseball tonight?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great one for the first 5 innings to the under. I wouldn't trust the full game to the under, even though we could see it get there. But these bullpens are just something that I don't want to have my faith in. So I'll look at this game for the first 5 under the total. I'm assuming it's going to be 4.5, Gabe. I'm not getting a line right now. And then when I look at Toronto, I think they can pull it out at plus 138. I think they're worth the shot getting the win there at home on Canada Day. The Giants versus Diamondbacks. I'm on the wrong side of this game right now. I expect the Diamondbacks to lose this one. The Giants I had straight up on the money line as well as laying 1.5 on that run line. So they're plus 190 live at the moment. I think they can get back into this. It's still only early in this game, top of the 5th. I also had Logan Webb for over his strikeouts, over the 5.5, as well as ulting it to over 6.5. Last time I checked, he had 3. So I've got also the game between the Kansas City Royals and the Seattle Mariners. I did play on a lower scoring one in this one, taking this one to the under.
Well, that's a good call. 1-1 so far. Bottom of the 4th inning. Mariners are now minus 170 favorites. Royals plus 140. Cam, any late baseball for you here?
Yeah, I'm on the Royals tonight. I didn't like the price with Seattle. I think the plus 1.5 in money line. I'm with Joe, though. We're on the wrong side of the Giants right now, but maybe a live bet with them. There's also Wimbledon going on, and I'm starting to notice a lot of these favorites have a real issue right now. Like Taylor Fritz is having problems with Perricard. He's only minus 250 live. They're tied, and Zverev and Rindenet, these guys have actually tied in sets as well, Gabe. So the favorites in Wimbledon right now having their hands full early.
Yeah, but it is like 3 a.m. right now there.
Yeah, I know. My point being, I'm just saying though, even Alcaraz had problems, right?
They're not playing. I know, but they're not playing right now.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. What am I talking about? Is this like real?
Yeah, it's like it's in England. It starts in the morning again. They're 6 hours ahead. It's like 3 a.m. there.
Oh yeah, extended matches.
You see it. You see the lines up here. It's play suspended. Those were the games that were still going on, and it got dark, and they shut them down.
Yeah, but Fritz like only 250, and Zverev the guy was like a minus 10, like 10,000. He's minus 700. It might sound like crazy, but they're having all they can handle from these guys. Like they're both tied in sets. But yeah, it is 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm not paying attention. I guess I forgot.
Oh, good. You're ready for the morning. It does start early. Because they're 6 hours ahead. It does start early.
That's funny. Yeah, huge game tomorrow.
Here
with the Blue Jays too.
It's like 4 a.m. or something like that.
You're right.
Right. But even earlier, I think it's 3 a.m. overnight. Starts overnight. But yeah, they're shut down right now, Wimbledon. But Joe, before we get you out of here, Thursday night football, the Calgary Stampeders and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Stampeders went out all out on this. And I like it. Really nice trophy they made, actually, for the Stampede Bowl, they're calling it now. So it'll be like an annual game, the Stampede Bowl. And this is the big one. The Stampeders put a lot of money into this game, the hyping it up, trying to sell it. And this is the one. They got Bret Michaels performing at halftime of this game of Poison. And, of course, the Calgary Stampede is set to begin. I see Calgary is set to welcome over 1 million visitors this month for the Calgary Stampede. And the Stampede Bowl ready to kick things off on Thursday night. And the Calgary Stampeders are 3.5-point home underdogs against the visiting Winnipeg Blue Bombers right now, Joe.
Well, I think this is going to be a great game. I love how they've changed it to be called the Stampede Bowl. And I do think Calgary plus the points is a great way to go. I think what we've seen out of them so far, I love the pickup of Vernon Adams Jr., and I do think they'll be able to get it done. So I'm going to roll with the Calgary Stampeders. I'm going to be looking at Vernon Adams Jr. as well for his passing props in this one. And Gabe, come on. You're not coming out to like at least celebrate in the concert here?
No, I like Brett Michaels, but not enough to get on a plane.
Cowboy. I put on a cowboy hat. Come on.
Like if he plays at a BC Lion game, I'll go.
You're not flying to Calgary to watch Brett Michaels. Yeah, that's amazing.
No, I'm not flying in for the Stampede Bowl this week. Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Toronto Argonauts on Friday night, actually, July 4th. That'll be a fun one. There should be points scored in this game. Hamilton can score. We see their offense does put points up on the board. Now, Toronto's got their offense going a little bit, total 52.5 in that football game. The BC Lions are really struggling. They're on the road, and their life doesn't get any easier. They're playing against the Montreal Alouettes in Montreal on Saturday night. They're getting 5 points right now, total 49. And then Sunday night football, you've got the Ottawa Red Blacks and the Edmonton Elks. Red Blacks, 2.5-point favorites right now. Joe Madden. Thanks, Joe.
As we know, it's just we enter every year and it's like, is this the Ravens' time? Is this Lamar Jackson's turn? Can they get past the Chiefs and all of these other, stalwarts of the AFC? But it's always really about Kansas City when we're talking Baltimore.
This potentially, Adam, as I send it back to you, potentially is a game changer in that you get a very talented quarter at a discount price.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
We are seeing unbelievable temperature surges over the past couple days. So I wanted to ask you this question to let the people know, how do we account for that in our handicapping? Two good pitchers on the mound, but you look at a place like Wrigley Field, let's just say, 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, 90-plus degree temperatures. Is it almost like you say to yourself, you just have to fade the environment and not worry about the pitchers, because if we're hitting fly balls, they're going yard?
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
It was the first time, I think, in Dodgers history that the ballpark was full in the first inning. Everybody was there to see Shohei Ohtani throw his first pitch as a Dodger, and I had mixed emotions about this for a few reasons. Number one, it was a reminder of, wow, this is so crazy, right? You're watching him hit 98, 99, even 100 on the radar gun going, this guy's not human. Nobody should be able to be this good of a hitter and this good of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
I can't even believe I'm saying pitcher's battle and using the words Patrick Corbin. But can I tell you, Scotty, he's a different guy. He's a totally different guy with the Rangers than we've seen.
I say this all the time. Don't worry about the first 5 innings. Don't even watch the first 5 innings in Texas Ranger games. Because for whatever reason, there's a ton of runs scored in the first 5, and then it just stops. It just stops.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
The soccer game's getting real right now. We're going into the 80th minute in Orlando, Florida. Man City and Al Hilal tied it 2 in FIFA Club Cup play. Winner goes to the final 8, the Elite 8, so to speak. And we got two Brazilian teams in the final 8 right now. Some big powerhouses still alive, but Man City, one of the favorites to win this tournament, are on the ropes right now. We're in the 80th minute, tie game. They do have the ball, and they're sort of lingering around the box right now. You could tell they're trying to finish this thing off, but it's not that easy. So we'll keep our eye on this. Quick baseball check right now. Live baseball. We got a bunch of close games and tie games. Baltimore and Texas are tied at 3 in the top of the 9th inning. If you want to jump in on it, the total is 7.5 right now. Looks like they're going to go to extra innings. There's 2 outs. Actually, no, it's the top of the 9th, not bottom of the 9th. So, but it's 7.5, 165 right now. Texas, Baltimore plus 135, total 7.5. San Francisco trail Arizona 1-0, bottom of 5. The D-backs are minus 320 right now. The Giants are plus 235. Arizona have a runner on second base, but it's a pretty big number for San Francisco considering they're only down a run. And KC and Seattle are tied at 1 right now, top of 5th. Seattle have been struggling, but they are hanging on to the last wild card spot right now. Big-time win for the Blue Jays tonight. They cut the lead to 2 games. Speaking of Arizona, let's send it to Arizona right now. Our main man, Kiev O'Neill, steps up and joined us last week. We talked UFC, and I understand he's going on a vacation later in the week. So we had him on earlier in the week. No Thursday night hit this week. What's up, Kiev? How you doing?
Guys, you're right. In my bags, gonna hit the Midwest.
Well, refresh. We can get Kiev to refresh there, and we'll get him in here. So yeah, it's holiday week, but no rest for us here on the show. Tomorrow's Canada Day, but we're going to be on live tomorrow night, and then we're going to be on for the 4th of July on Friday night. And not only are we going to be on, we're going to be on earlier than normal people. So you've been forewarned. A 4th of July special this Friday night. Me, Cam, and special guests. We'll have our Freak Show regulars and others join us, but we're going to be on at 8 o'clock Eastern on Friday night. 4th of July special, 8 o'clock Eastern until midnight Eastern. All right, I think we got, is Kiev good to go? Are you ready to rock, Kiev? All right, no, we'll figure out Kiev here in a minute or two. So we got this game going on, and while we wait for Kiev, it's a good time right now. I was talking about that Poindexter dude last week when we talked golf on Thursday. Potgeider.
Poindexter? You mean Poltergeist?
Yeah, Poindexter.
That's what I heard. Yeah. Dude, he's a big
Potgeider.
boy. Yes.
So this dude, he ends up winning the Rocket when it's all said and done. And I tell you, it wasn't easy for him. 77 holes when it's all said and done, an extended playoff. And he gets his first PGA Tour win. Very impressive of him, Cam. And what the hell did this guy pay? Because he came out of nowhere to win this thing. But very impressive of him, like to linger and be what? He was like second or something on Thursday and then to end up winning on Monday is an impressive tournament.
It was a great tournament. And I got to be honest with you, the Rocket Mortgage, like the Canadian Open, every year there's a playoff. And people can say what they want. It's an awesome tournament. I had the guy who lost in the 6-hole playoff, and we had a lot of other guys. Gabe, like Jake Afternoon Nap was hanging around too. Great win by.
Hold on.
Happened?
Oh my God! Like that didn't go in. Holland thought it crossed the line. Did it cross the line? This is unbelievable. Man City, just on a header. I thought it went in and it hit the crossbar, and it was one of those came back down. But then Holland tried to sort of tip it in. He was like, hey, it's in. The ref's like, no, it's not. Like I said, they're really trying. They don't want to go to a shootout, these guys. Like they're trying to finish this thing off. And we'll see if they can. There should be a lot of extended added time here, but we're in the 84th minute. But what did Potgeider, what was his odds before the tournament? They had to be like 150, 200 to 1.
120, and 150. It would have been higher, but Potgeider has already finished second, losing in a playoff to Campbell earlier on in the year. And let me tell you something about this guy. He hits it as hard as Rory McIlroy. Once he figures out how to putt consistently and have wedge game, this guy's going to be one of the better players in the world. I'm going to say this right now. Watch out for Aldrich Potgeider. He has every skill in the world. He murders the golf ball. I mean, like 340 off the tee. He's a monster from South Africa, and he's 20 years old. For people, you look at him, he looks like he's 30 because he's a big boy, but he's actually young. He's a kid, and he's already won and finished and lost in a playoff this year. Finally gets it done. Watch out for this guy. He's going to be amazing, Morency. You're never going to find 120 on him again.
This week we've got the John Deere, and it's a lighter field this week as Ben Griffin is actually the favorite at 15 to 1. We're pretty wild too. Ben Griffin's the favorite at 15 to 1. And then there's a big drop off. So you're getting big odds with everybody else. Jason Day, 27 to 1. Denny McCarthy, 30 to 1. JT Potts posting 30 to 1. Chris Kirk, 32 to 1. Siwoo Kim, 32. Jake Knapp, 32. Fjordborn Olsen, 30 to 1. Sung Jae's 35 to 1. Davis Thompson, 35. So getting very, very big numbers, Cam, with everybody in this tournament besides Ben Griffin.
Watch out for Chris Kirk, one of the players, it was a three-way playoff with him, Gracerman, and Potgeider. He was the first guy out of the playoff, had a little bit of a bad luck on the third playoff hole. Chris Kirk is playing really good golf right now and under the radar. The Georgia Bulldog, always shows up. Jason Day, by the way, Gabe, I'm not sure if we're going to do this in the best of X. You should have seen his outfit. He was rocking overalls, John Deere overalls, as part of his golf attire.
I saw him.
You see that picture? I'm like, is this real? Yeah, Jason Day's like, he's just doing his own thing these days. Should be fun.
I didn't know if it was real or if it was AI or something like that. But, yeah, I saw that picture of Jason Day. So we're in the 86th minute right now. Man City have come really close. I don't know how the hell the ball didn't go in a couple of minutes ago. Like, it hit the crossbar, went right down. Holland was there. He tried to tip it in. It looked like it crossed the line, but I guess it didn't. It is what it is. So we're in the 86th minute right now, and I don't have Man City to qualify. They were such big favorites. Like, take them to qualify was like minus 800. I mean, they were minus 400 on the money line. So we're going to need a late goal here. Them winning in penalty kicks does us no good. We're going to have to score a goal. There should be quite a bit of extra time added, though, guys. I would imagine like 7 to 9 minutes, 8 minutes type, maybe 10. But they're very random, as we all know with this, right? I mean, who do they want to win? Like, if they want Man City to win, they'll add like 10 minutes. If they don't, they want Al Hilal to get the draw and go to penalty kicks, they'll call it after 5.
As we know, it's just we enter every year and it's like, is this the Ravens' time? Is this Lamar Jackson's turn? Can they get past the Chiefs and all of these other, stalwarts of the AFC? But it's always really about Kansas City when we're talking Baltimore.
This potentially, Adam, as I send it back to you, potentially is a game changer in that you get a very talented quarter at a discount price.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
We are seeing unbelievable temperature surges over the past couple days. So I wanted to ask you this question to let the people know, like, how do we account for that in our handicapping? Like, 2 good pitchers on the mound, but you look at a place like Wrigley Field, let's just say, 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, 90-plus degree temperatures. Is it almost like you say to yourself, you just have to fade the environment and not worry about the pitchers, because if we're hitting fly balls, they're going yard?
Pro Baseball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
It was the first time, I think, in Dodgers history that the ballpark was full in the first inning. Everybody was there to see Shohei Ohtani throw his first pitch as a Dodger, and I had mixed emotions about this for a few reasons. Number one, it was a reminder of, wow, this is so crazy, right? You're watching him hit 98, 99, even 100 on the radar gun going, this guy's not human. Nobody should be able to be this good of a hitter or this good of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I can't even believe I'm saying pitcher's battle and using the words Patrick Corbin. But can I tell you, Scotty, he's a different guy. He's a totally different guy with the Rangers than we've seen.
I say this all the time. Don't worry about the first 5 innings. Like, don't even watch the first 5 innings in Texas Ranger game. Because for whatever reason, there's a ton of runs scored in the first 5, and then it just stops. It just stops.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Well, we're going into the 90th minute right now, and I'm seeing the replay. I'm seeing the replay right now of the Erling Haaland, like where he thought it was in. The ball was only like an inch over the line. Like there was like a part of the ball, like just a little tip of the ball was over the line. So they added 6 minutes, guys, and now Al Hilal is playing games. They're like lying on the turf and stuff like that. So ref just told the guy, went up to him and hit him on the back and told him, get up. Like the ref did. He just said, hey, get up, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not just going to waste, like, we got 6 minutes and, Man City want to bury this and don't want to take any chances. Like, this would not be a good look for them to lose to Al Hilal. And it would be good for the Saudis because they spent all that money on a live tour and no one watches. And they spent all the money on these soccer players and no one watches their league. So this would be a good look for them if they were actually able to win this game. And speaking of which, there was all hell broke loose on the Live Tour the other day. We'll get into that later. But we got Kiev O'Neill in the house with us. Kiev, we spoke last week about the UFC. We spoke about Topuria being a badass, and he did it again. Like, this guy's just like, he's a freaking machine. And then, like, Paddy Pimblett gets in the ring and starts running his mouth after. It's like, bro, no one wants to see this. You're going to get murdered, right? But he's trying to talk his way into it, and that's the way the UFC works.
Well, Paddy runs with his mouth. You know, he's confidence with his mouth. He needs to talk more for him to feel comfortable, right? And you know, he's gotten a lot better. Don't get me wrong. I've been trying. There's a time where I was fading him, and then I decided I just got to get on the guy. But now, once he's jumping in with Topuria, it's over for him, man. He is not going to be able to go up against a class like him. I was waiting for him to fight Islam, you know, and it didn't happen, right? I thought that would be the next fight for Pimblett, but I mean,
the word is it's Gaethje actually. So he's not getting the pipeline here, even though he wants it. So I saw earlier today, I don't know, was Duplessis sort of let it slip. There was a video Duplessis telling his boys, I'm fighting in Chicago. And he said Gaethje and Pimblett's the undercard. And so he kind of like blew the lid on it himself, which I'm sure the UFC is pissed about. They hate that stuff. Like him talking to his friends. It looked like at a car dealer. It looked like he was buying a car. And he told the car dealer guy, I'm fighting in August in Chicago. And Gaethje and Pimblett are the undercard.
Pimblett's going to be minus 200, right? I mean, I highly doubt that he's not going to be favored against Gaethje. Gaethje's at the twilight of his career. He's going to be out soon. We saw how Gaethje got handled, too, by our buddy that just, he knocked him out the last 10 seconds, right? And that was some of the best fighting I've ever seen. I think that was UFC 300, 306, something like that. Can't remember his name offhand. But it was, Gaethje's done. He's a great stand-up fighter, great technical fighter. But Pimblett's just can hit you from both ways. But he's just not overly abundantly aggressive or strong like Ilia Topuria, like Islam Makhachev, you know, like Khabib was back in the day, right? He's not one of those top tier guys. You know, I will say that he has done well for himself, but I will be on Ilia when that happens, man.
He fought Fiziev last. He won. He lost to Max Holloway. He beat Poirier. He beat Fiziev. Yeah. He lost to Charles Oliveira. He lost to Khabib. He sort of mixes in a win with a loss, Justin. Right? Lose to Khabib, beat Chandler. Lose to Oliveira, beat Fiziev. Beat Poirier. Lose to Holloway, beat Fiziev again. But he's one of these guys. I mean, Gaethje's been in a million freaking wars over the years, right? Like even going back to before when he was in the UFC. Like this one of those. I mean, he's older than his body is, right? You know what I mean, Kiev? I mean, the guy's been in like so many bloodbaths.
Yeah, a lot of ring wear on that body, and he's still 36. You know, it's not like he's a young buck here, but I mean, he's had a lot of fights, and 26-5, 36 years old. You know, he's fought the best of the best. He's lost against the best of the best. He just never could get over the hump. You know, there's always something, taking him out. He tried to fight Khabib back in 2020, choked out in the second round. He tried to fight Charles, which I actually thought he was going to beat Charles, and he got choked out against Charles in the first round. You saw what Ilia just did to Charles. Now, it's not like Charles is a spring chicken either, but, I expected Charles to push Topuria a little bit farther than that. It kind of ruined my whole Topuria by sub, but I did give out Joshua Van last week, and that was fun. And, he covered for us as well as a few others. So we had a good card.
All right, we'll hit some college football on the other side with Kiev. We'll hit some baseball with George Kurtz. We'll hit football with Mo Khan. We'll get into that Steeler trade, actually. Steelers and Dolphins. Pittsburgh Steelers trying to go all in this year with their 1 year with Aaron Rodgers.
As we know, it's just we enter every year and it's, is this the Ravens' time? Is this Lamar Jackson's turn? Can they get past the Chiefs and all of these other, stalwarts of the AFC? But it's always really about Kansas City when we're talking Baltimore.
This potentially, Adam, as I send it back to you, potentially is a game changer in that you get a very talented quarter at a discount price.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
We are seeing unbelievable temperature surges over the past couple days. So I wanted to ask you this question to let the people know, like, how do we account for that in our handicapping? Like, two good pitchers on the mound, but you look at a place like Wrigley Field, let's just say, 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, 90-plus degree temperatures. Is it almost like you say to yourself, you just have to fade the environment and not worry about the pitchers? Because if we're hitting fly balls, they're going yard.
Pro Baseball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
It was the first time, I think, in Dodgers history that the ballpark was full in the first inning. Everybody was there to see Shohei Ohtani throw his first pitch as a Dodger, and I had mixed emotions about this for a few reasons. Number one, it was a reminder of, wow, this is so crazy, right? You're watching him hit 98, 99, even 100 on the radar gun going, this guy's not human. Nobody should be able to be this good of a hitter or this good of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I can't even believe I'm saying pitcher's battle and using the words Patrick Corbin. But can I tell you, Scotty, he's a different guy. He's a totally different guy with the Rangers than we've seen.
I say this all the time. Don't worry about the first 5 innings. Like, don't even watch the first 5 innings in Texas Ranger games. Because for whatever reason, there's a ton of runs scored in the first 5, and then it just stops. It just stops.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Well, we got a 2-2 draw after 90. Man City and Al Hilal going to extra time right now. The knockout stage of the FIFA Club World Cup could be a potential massive upset in the making here. We'll keep our eye on this. So countdown to kickoff is on, and I posted earlier today. I mean, it just feels like just yesterday the Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup, but the Vancouver Canucks opened their rookie camp today. The training camp opened today. And I'm not saying the vets are there, but that's how, like, there's no off season in the NHL, right? So rookie camps have already opened. NFL camps, me and Rick Saratella were talking about this last week. NFL camps open sooner than and earlier than they ever do this year. The Buffalo Bills report July 15th. Other teams like July 16th, 17th type of deal. We're a couple of weeks away from training camp in the National Football League right now. And the college football season kicks off earlier than ever this year. August 23rd is like technically what they call week 0. There's like 4, 5, 6 games type of deal, nothing big. But August 30th, the following week, there's big-time college football. LSU versus Clemson, Texas at Ohio State. Some big-time games. Notre Dame at Miami. I think it's at Miami, not neutral. I'm pretty sure it's in Miami. But some big games like in the first, that week 1 of college football this year. And Kiev, so with so many college football teams, it's time to really start doing research and digging into this stuff right now. What are you looking at right now, college football?
Yeah, man, we've been doing that since we got done prepping the NFL, which was the last 3-4 weeks we've been doing college. And, a lot of great stuff popping out, a lot of great value. If you remember last year, we hit some big futures on Indiana, 200-1 to make the playoffs. Gave that out on all the shows we were on, even this one. But there's a way to bet these guys, and this is underrated. People don't talk about it. If you're going to put $100 on a bet that's 10-1 or better, you do it in 2 bets. You split it in half because it pays the exact same thing, right? So you have 2 $50 bets because as time goes through the year, you're going to have a hedging opportunity. They're going to offer you money back for the ticket. If you're stuck with one ticket, you're like, well, what do I do? What if they win, right? Well, it limits it. It makes it a lot harder to hedge it. But if you have 2 $50 tickets at 200-1, you're going to be able to get out at 50-1 at some point, like when Indiana played Ohio State. It pays the same, and you can still just keep them both rolling, just like it's $100 bet anyway. So the best way to bet futures is to cut your bet in half and make 2 of them. It don't matter. It's just more volume, right? Since it pays the same amount. So you have all the options in the world, and you can cash out on your ticket at any time and still let the other one ride. So that's what we did last year. at Indiana at 200 to 1. But this year we have a similar situation, guys. It's like jumping through a hula hoop again. You have a coach leaving a team in the Sun Belt, Marshall. He took a winning team. I think Marshall won at least 10 games last year, and he's going to Southern Miss. He's bringing everybody with him, just like Kirk Cignetti did with Indiana when he left James Madison. Everybody. And this Marshall team was pretty good. So they're coming to Southern Miss. They gave him a better deal. He's probably got a chip on his shoulder. You know, the kid's got a chip on his shoulder. All the guys are returning and transferring with him. They're going to be a really good team in the Sun Belt. They're at 26 to 1 to win the Sun Belt, 26 to 1 while everyone's on James Madison, while everyone's on Louisiana. This Marshall team beat these teams last year, man. I took 26 to 1, but what did I do? Instead of betting it once, I bet it twice. Just split it in half because mid-season, late in the season, even right before the championship game, they're going to offer me money for that ticket if they're in it, and it's going to be a lot of it. And then you can just cash out one and let the other one ride.
Southern Miss's win total 4.5, which if you think they're going to be that good is an easy play. It is minus 160 to the over. One thing I've looked at, I'll bring up for college football futures is looking at win totals. Sometimes guys, like you think, all right, I'm going to play this. Like it's like Michigan's a good example. They're at 8.5, Michigan. If Michigan are going to go over 8.5, and I think they'll be pretty good, you get better odds. They're like plus 200 to make the playoffs, Kiev. You know what I mean? There's certain teams where it's like 8.5, 9.5. It's like, yeah, okay, if they actually win that many games, they're going to be in the playoffs. And you're getting better odds for them to make the playoffs as opposed to a standard like minus 110 bet. But like Michigan 8.5 is minus 170 to the over. I'd rather bet them plus 200 to make the playoffs than over 8.5 minus 170.
Well, especially for the fact that the Big Ten's going to have 3 or 4 playoff teams like they're discussing, right? They want the SEC and the Big Ten to have the 4 teams. I'm not sure if that's written in stone yet. I think they're working on that.
Four last year, exactly. They want to expand it. They wanted 8 of the 16 set in stone. That was what they wanted. They said we should be guaranteed like half the field.
They're not going to upset those conferences, right? They're not going to tee them off, so you're going to get that. I mean, I was looking at Washington a little bit, and man, I really like Jed Fish. I know he's kind of a medium fish in a big pond right now, being in the Big Ten, but man, this Washington team is looking pretty good to me. They have a good quarterback coming back. They're kind of a sneaky team. Their win total's at 7.5. I think you can get some plus money on the over, but I mean, they're at 9 to 1, you're looking at that. If they get 9 wins, they're probably going to be in the playoffs as well.
You bring up Washington and their quarterback, Desmond Williams, is their quarterback. He just won the Manning Camp competition with all the top quarterbacks in the country this past week.
You saw that bowl game, Gabe, in the Sun Bowl. This guy has track speed. Like when he's open, like he's gone, like Lamar Jackson style. It's crazy. Like his foot speed is impeccable.
Good.
Like he's a sprinter.
And you're right with a great coach.
And you're right about Jed Fish too.
Right now. Yeah, Jed Fish is fantastic. We went with Arizona with Fafita and T-Mac before he left. Arizona was awesome. He leaves, Arizona stinks with Brett Brennan there. So yeah, he's got a great quarterback in Desmond Williams. He's got some good receivers in Denzel Boston. Omari Evans transfers in from Penn State. He's got some pretty good running backs, and Adam Muhammad, I should say, not Ahmad. Yeah, this is going to be a sneaky team. They have to play Oregon or Ohio State, but they get them both at home. I think that very last game of the season, it could be for the playoffs for them, and it's a home game against a rival like Oregon. I think that could be a nice little spot where they can sneak into the playoffs through the back door. And hey, you get 9 or 10 to 1 on them. It's not as sweet as it was last year, but I like Washington as well.
One thing with the Washington Huskies, too, Jed Fish went into a tough situation there as Kalen DeBoer did a great job, obviously, but think of all the players that they lost to the NFL, right? So they got raided from the NFL because they were that good from the national championship team that went to the game against Michigan. And not to mention that, so they lost like a bunch of their top players to the NFL. And then Kalen DeBoer took a bunch of dudes to Alabama with him. So Jed Fish really inherited a bare cupboard there. Like you give Jed Fish a couple of years to recruit and get his system in place and start rolling along, they're going to be good. And I'm with you. That's 7.5, very attractive, Kiev, with the Huskies.
Yeah, Oh, it is. It's attractive. And you know what? You just put more on the season win total. If they don't make the playoffs, you still cash some tickets. I mean, they're 15th in the On3 net
Guys,
transfer
holy
portal
crap.
rankings.
Sorry, we got a goal here, and it's not Man City. Al Hilal just scored an extra time. They're up 3-2 on Man City right now.
How's the party going to be in the desert? These guys are going to go nuts if they beat Man City.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of upset people in Man City, Cam. It's 2 in the morning there, bro. Imagine in a bar right now. They're like, oh, God.
No, this is not good. Glasses on heads. This is good. You're right.
Yeah.
Riot.
This is where security's like, okay, man, we're going to have a problem in about 20 minutes here. Like, you know what I mean?
Can we get 20 more forces down here? Exactly.
Yeah.
There's going to be balls.
Like, literally, guys, it's like 2 in the morning in the pub right now in Manchester. I'm sure this is going over good.
No.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all. It's
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. 3-2, Al Hilal right now in the 97th minute. We're being informed right now that it's 4 in the morning in England right now. Yeah, that's right. 4 a.m. I was I'm on the West Coast, but yeah, even later. So, yeah, 4 a.m. there right now. So you have drunk people that are still up right now. Then you're going to have other people who are going to wake up angry seeing this.
You're right. Everybody waking up with a cold one. Bam. No, these
the
guys
other people
take
are
this
like, oh,
stuff
I'm
hard.
not staying up for that. I'll wake up and I'll, whatever. They're going to wake up. What? We lost. They lost. What the hell? 3-2. They haven't lost yet, but it's getting there. And they pulled early hauling as well, so they don't have their best player on the pitch. We're in the 98th minute right now, and the Saudi side looked fitter. Like they seem to be handling the heat better. Major League Baseball. We got baseball going on right now. Just there's 3 games going on. I like the college football talk. We're going to have to raise that up.
Oh,
cool. I say, guys, it's not that far off. Like, the kickoff is August 23rd. It's July 1st tomorrow. When you consider, too, you got like 150 teams now, whatever the hell it is. We wouldn't even be able to hit every team if we did one team a day. But the Washington Huskies, I brought it up, that quarterback, Desmond Williams, he just won the Manning Academy quarterback camp competitions, which is pretty impressive. Like, if you look past guys that have won that, like, it's mostly all the top quarterbacks, college quarterbacks in the country are at that thing. And Williams won, I saw on Saturday night. Very good quarterback, up and coming with the Washington Huskies. And oh my God, Man City nearly just scored, but they did not. All right, so level 2 rolls on. I am Morency. We're kicking it with Cam Stewart, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. Let's bring in George Kurtz right now, who watched every pitch of the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees game tonight. Blue Jays had a 3-1 lead, took the starter out. Bullpen came in, and then all hell broke loose. What was it, in the 6th, I think? Blue Jays had like 1 hit out of the outfield, but they managed to score 2 runs, pass balls, just weird stuff started happening. And then the Blue Jays end up hanging on for the win tonight. Have cut the deficit to 2 right now. We'll get George Kurtz's Yankees thoughts on this. George, Tampa, a game and a half back. Blue Jays now 2 games back. Big game tomorrow once again in Toronto.
Yeah, right. Not a great game for the Yankees tonight. All right, you got Rodon going. You'd like to win that game. He left with a 3-1 lead. But I got to tell you, as soon as he left them, as you said, he didn't go deep into the game. It was going to be a big problem for the Yankees tonight. And really, for the next, probably for the next long haul here. They lost Fernando Cruz, who was probably a nobody coming into the season, but he's developed to a very key reliever. And when you don't have him, you don't have anybody for the 6th and 7th inning now for the Yankees. So as soon as Rodon, that I knew he was going to come out at the 5th inning when he only had 87, when he went 87 pitches, I hit the Jays in game to come back against the Yankee bullpen because you knew they were going to go to lighter. I thought they might go to the rookie they called.
Good work, George.
Sacrilegious.
It was a gut.
I love this guy.
The Yankees didn't have relievers. If Rodon could have gone 1 more inning, I wouldn't have done that because they wouldn't have used Loiza. They would have used Loizaga instead of Light.
I was hoping you were going to be all worked up and mad about the game. Instead, he bet on the Blue
he's all
Jays.
happy. Exactly.
I
noticed
the Yankees do this every
game.
game. Every team is like this if you watch the Yankees. They're not a fundamental team. You already said what they did wrong. They made, what, two errors that were called errors tonight, probably 3 or 4 that were really errors here. They don't hit with people on base. I mean, what was Volpe doing throwing that ball with third base? He had no chance at the guy. Runs here. I mean, but the Yankees have been doing this for years.
And I almost feel bad, George. I see you talking on X a lot. I almost feel bad for Jazz Chisholm now at this point. You're asking a dude to play out of position. Third base is hard, too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got line drives. You got to worry about getting smoked in the head, so he wants to play back. And I'm not blaming him for Guerrero hit it hard, George, but a lot of third basemen keep that in the infield. You saw, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He didn't even go all the way down. He was like, wow, this is just like, you know what it looked like? It looked like a non-third baseman trying to play third base when I saw it. I was like, it's not even his fault. Like, you know what I mean? But like,
it's his third best position. He's a second baseman. He's a center fielder. The Yankees don't have a third. How can the New York Yankees literally not have a third baseman? And they didn't have it coming into the year. Remember, it was Orlando Cabrera who was playing third base until he wrecked his ankle in Seattle. It's a joke. Yes, they tried to trade for Arenado, so they knew it was going to be a problem. But I mean, how Cashman went into the season with this is beyond me. And for the love of God, LeMahieu is a sunk cost. All right, he can't play. He can't field. He can't hit. Cashman has to realize once again it was an awful contract when you made it. You know, it's not working out. You need to move on. But the problem is, guess what? The Yankees don't have anybody else who can play second base either. Peraz is a bust, right? He never worked out, and there's no one in the Yankee system. There's no one for the Yankee system.
Why is Cashman
Lombard to come up?
Why is Cashman so anti-defense? It's weird. It's just sort of weird that he doesn't like.
What did he say during the offseason? He wanted to get more athletic. That's why he liked Jazz Chisholm so much. And then you put Jazz Chisholm at the one position that doesn't require athleticism, right? Third base. I mean, you take away from second base. Cashman says one thing and does another. I mean, it's just what he does.
Yeah, but third base, you have to have grown up taking line drives and feet. It's not the type of position you just like get, like, remember Vlad Guerrero guy, same thing, junior. He was at third base. They're like, oh, we like his arm for third base. You're going to get him killed, right? Like, he looked scared. He was like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't natural for him. You're freaking him out. And it's 90 effing feet, man. Like, third base is dangerous. Like, you know what I'm saying?
In today's game.
All right, so Man City just scored to make it 3-3. We got a real game going on.
There
here,
you go. Now tell the cops. Not yet, boys.
Yeah, 4:20 a.m. in England.
Yeah, it's like, okay, all units on hold. I will say
I'm
this,
just
though,
picturing
Gabe and
Tim
George.
Camp like an Andy Cap type of husband, too, with the wife in the morning, just being in a bad mood when the wife wakes up. Where's my breakfast?
Yeah, it's
City
going to be like
lost.
domestics and stuff. Like, this is not good for business in Manchester. I
We
will
got a
say this, though,
3-3.
guy,
They're going to pull it out. They'll pull it out.
just quickly about the Blue Jays, too, and George and Gabe, you guys know this. Their bullpen is good now with Little and all the other young guys that they have now. Like, that has changed. So that I think it's going to be a great race down the stretch. So they actually have guys that can throw it in pressure situations, young kids that are getting it done.
I told you guys, man, San Francisco plus 235 when they're only down a run. I said, wow, it's plus 235 for only being down a run. Well, now it's 2-2. They haven't won yet, but we'll hit the Yankees and Blue Jay game on the other side. Max Fried versus Goffman tomorrow. Canada Day special in Toronto.
As we know, it's just we enter every year and it's like, is this the Ravens' time? Is this Lamar Jackson's turn? Can they get past the Chiefs and all of these other, stalwarts of the AFC? But it's always really about Kansas City when we're talking Baltimore.
This potentially, Adam, as I send it back to you, potentially is a game changer in that you get a very talented quarter at a discount price.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
We are seeing unbelievable temperature surges over the past couple days. So I wanted to ask you this question to let the people know, like, how do we account for that in our handicapping? Like, two good pitchers on the mound, but you look at a place like Wrigley Field, let's just say, 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, 90-plus degree temperatures. Is it almost like you say to yourself, you just have to fade the environment and not worry about the pitchers, because if we're hitting fly balls, they're going yard?
Pro Baseball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
It was the first time, I think, in Dodgers history that the ballpark was full in the first inning. Everybody was there to see Shohei Ohtani throw his first pitch as a Dodger, and I had mixed emotions about this for a few reasons. Number one, it was a reminder of, wow, this is so crazy, right? You're watching him hit 98, 99, even 100 on the radar gun going, this guy's not human. Nobody should be able to be this good of a hitter and this good of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I can't even believe I'm saying pitcher's battle and using the words Patrick Corbin. But can I tell you, Scotty, he's a different guy. He's a totally different guy with the Rangers than we've seen.
I say this all the time. Don't worry about the first 5 innings. Like, don't even watch the first 5 innings in Texas Ranger game. Because for whatever reason, there's a ton of runs scored in the first 5, and then it just stops. It just stops.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We got a fun one going on right now in Orlando. We're tied at 3 after the first half of extra time. So we got another 15 minutes of extra time and a potential penalty kick as they actually play extra time in this, but they're playing for big money. The winning teams get $13 million a game in this stage. As we mentioned, Fluminense already up to $26 million right now they've made as a team. Like, it's pretty good. When you end up splitting it up. But the players get 40% of the total take, but still pretty good money. All right, looking at the division odds here right now. Toronto Blue Jays have played themselves into this. They're 2 games back of the Yankees right now. Yankees are still big favorites to win the division at minus 270. Tampa Bay Rays are plus 350. Blue Jays plus 650. Red Sox 35. Orioles 150. We've talked a lot about the Rays schedule. I brought it up a lot before the season started, that they're going to play 47 of their first 59 games at home. So you do the math, that's a lot of games on the road in the second half of the season coming up. Like, they're going to be spending a lot of times in hotel rooms, this team. But if there's one team that seemingly defies logic and odds all the time, it is this Tampa Bay Ray team. And so they're plus 350. Blue Jays are plus 650, Cam. The Canada Day game's always a big game in Toronto. They had 40,000 plus tonight. They're going to have a sold-out stadium tomorrow. Blue Jays have some momentum going right now. There's a positive feeling in the city of Toronto about the team. Even though Blue Jay fans are like Canuck fans, they bitch and whine too much. But it seems like now, like I said, like if they beat the Yankees this week, I think people will start to buy in. Like, Blue Jay fans are like, prove it to me, like the show me state type people. Like, hey, let's see if this is for real. Because they always like go on these runs and then they lose a bunch of games in a row. But it's getting realer, and they're live dogs tomorrow. They're big underdogs tomorrow again.
I'll tell you one thing, too. You take a look at these games, and you mentioned it, Gabe. Amazing pitching duels, and George knows, like, the people from New York are coming into Toronto with the dollar. It's always been a huge series, especially in the summer. New Yorkers coming to Toronto there. They're gonna be fans there. But the atmosphere is being electric. You got two great pitchers, too. You got Gausman and Fried hitting the mound tomorrow. The total's 8. It might seem a little bit low, but we've seen pitching duels in the past. I have a lean to the under. The Jays could be live, but Fried's pretty damn good. But I'm looking at that 8 going, if these guys don't give up crazy stuff, I think we can probably have an under on Canada Day.
I would. It's just too light. Like, if it was 9.5, maybe I'd take a look at it. But 8 in that hot sun tomorrow. What do you think, George, of the total tomorrow? It's a great pitching matchup, but is it really going to end up being 2-1 tomorrow? I doubt it.
I doubt it'll be 2-1 as well. But Cam said it. Fried has been fantastic for the Yankees. I don't know where this team would be without him. He's been absolutely great here. So I don't expect him to get hit hard. That's certainly for sure. The Yankees have hit Gausman hard, especially Aaron Judge. So if you want to play an anytime home run guy, Judge might be it. But that, as I was mentioning during the break, Schneider was walking him. Nobody out? Go ahead. Go take first, sir. Somebody on first base? Take first, sir. Schneider is not going to let Judge beat him. So it wouldn't shock me if he does the same sort of thing tomorrow. I guess it depends on how he sees Judge swinging the bat here. But I think it's going to be a lower scoring game as well. But as you're sort of hitting there, I don't think I'm going to have the courage to take the under. I'll just leave it alone there. I probably do think the Yankees get even tomorrow. Like I said, Max Fried, you got to trust Fried. He's just been fantastic for the Yankees all season long.
Judge came real close to hitting a home run, just a couple of feet foul. He ripped it. And then I thought it was a bad call, actually. I thought it was low, the strike 3 that they called when Scherzer struck him out. And then right after, Scherzer gives up the home run to Chisholm. Yankees minus 270. Look, the Tigers have already run away with that division. The Astros are starting to run away with the West right now. Seattle's, fighting for the wild card, though. You got the Central. The Cubs are minus 240. The Brew Crew are plus 450. The Cardinals are 5-1. What about the East, George? National League East. Phillies minus 180. Mets plus 145.
Well, listen, the Mets are cratering, right? I mean, their pitching staff is letting them down. They're not hitting as well as I thought they would. I thought they would be the 80s Yankees. Pitching struggling, but they would hit and win a lot of 8-6 games. It's not happening here. The Braves, I think, are done. They're way too inconsistent. So I think it's the Phillies. I think the Phillies are the second best team, I would say, in baseball, not the National League, in baseball, behind your Dodgers.
Yeah, I think the Phillies Dodgers are on a collision course in the playoffs. But we all know the Major League Baseball playoffs, anything can happen, right? You go to these series. All right, man, time's flying by here tonight, Georgia. I wanted to have an extra segment with you, but we had Kiev had some problems. Marner to Vegas. Marchand takes only $5-6 million a year to stay in Florida. What do you think?
Not surprised about the Martha. You said it last week. You got it right here. Everyone's going to where they're going to be happy. We're winning teams. They're going to winning teams. Florida, Vegas.
as we know, it's just we enter every year, and it's like, is this the Ravens' time? Is this Lamar Jackson's turn? Can they get past the Chiefs and all of these other, stalwarts of the AFC? But it's always really about Kansas City when we're talking Baltimore.
This potentially, Adam, as I send it back to you, potentially is a game changer in that you get a very talented quarter at a discount price.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
We are seeing unbelievable temperature surges over the past couple days. So I wanted to ask you this question to let the people know, how do we account for that in our handicapping? Two good pitchers on the mound, but you look at a place like Wrigley Field, let's just say, 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, 90-plus degree temperatures. Is it almost like you say to yourself, you just have to fade the environment and not worry about the pitchers, because if we're hitting fly balls, they're going yard?
Pro Baseball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
It was the first time, I think, in Dodgers history that the ballpark was full in the first inning. Everybody was there to see Shohei Ohtani throw his first pitch as a Dodger, and I had mixed emotions about this for a few reasons. Number one, it was a reminder of, wow, this is so crazy, right? You're watching him hit 98, 99, even 100 on the radar gun going, this guy's not human. Nobody should be able to be this good of a hitter and this good of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
I can't even believe I'm saying pitcher's battle and using the words Patrick Corbin. But can I tell you, Scotty, he's a different guy. He's a totally different guy with the Rangers than we've seen.
I say this all the time. Don't worry about the first 5 innings. Don't even watch the first 5 innings in Texas Ranger game. Because for whatever reason, there's a ton of runs scored in the first 5, and then it just stops. It just stops.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. I want to get to Matthew Barzell with the Islander fan George Kurtz, but we went along with the Yankee talk after the loss tonight to the Toronto Blue Jays. Things getting interesting in the American League East right now. 3 of the divisions in baseball, 6 divisions in the league. 3 of them are pretty much a wrap already, right? The Detroit Tigers are already up by 11.5 games. The Houston Astros are up by 6.5 games. Not a wrap, but the Astros are getting better now as the season goes on even. Philadelphia is only up 2 on the Mets, but the Mets are struggling, 3-7 in their last 10, 3-game losing streak. Phillies are better than they are as well. Braves are done. They're 11 games back. The Dodgers are up by 7.5 in the West, and they've had a ton of injuries. They're going to run away with that. The Cubs are only up 2 right now on the Brew Crew. No one talks about Milwaukee ever. And St. Louis are 3 games back right now, but it feels like St. Louis sort of had their run early, and oh my God, is this real? Is this real? Does this count? And it does count. Al Halal. Man, Al Halal fans are doing choking signs in the stands like the Knicks and Halliburton. Yeah, I got to
go to the halal store tomorrow for Canada Day. Party time. This is great. I've never been a Man City guy. I'm not a Man City fan at all. I don't care.
Dude, Al Halal, look at this guy. He just took his jersey and took the corner kick flag and is waving it around.
I love these.
I've never seen this. It's a celebration. He scores, he goes to the corner kick, takes his jersey up, puts it on the corner flag, takes it off the field, and starts going around with it. Wow.
That's a celebration.
Every time Man City comes back, Al Halal scores again. Man, this ain't no fluke. Every time Man City ties it, Al Halal scores again after. We got Mo Khan joining us right now. 4-3 in a 112 minute. Now they got a Man City kid picking his nose on camera. This kid's going to go viral.
You better tell
kid, keep your finger out of your nose.
Exactly. Stop picking. Digging for gold. I got to tell you, Gabe, now it's back on. I don't know how these people are going to react to this, but where do you put this in soccer lore of upsets, choking? Man City losing to these guys, this is a monster story. It's massive. It's crazy.
It's the way they're losing too. A team could lose and get upset. It's we lost 1-0. We had 17 shots on goal. It didn't go in. And they got lucky. But like I said, every time they score, Al Halal scores again after. And Al-Hilal, like, they've earned this result. Like, they could have scored a couple other times. You could say the same thing about Man City, but we got a great match going on. 4-3 right now in the 113th minute. What's going on, Mo? How you doing?
You know, Gabe, on a slow sports night, I actually spent an hour watching the preview of the Rockies and Giants game tonight. But Man City, look, this is an upset. But if we had Man City from, say, January playing now compared to their body shape as we speak, they would run these guys off and win 5-0 easy.
Yeah, but they're not.
But it's not.
If fans in flux, it's not.
It's not.
Right?
Yeah, like same thing. Like, no, I know. If we're playing in London, right, in Manchester right now, in November, and it was cold, they'd be up right now, 4-1 or something, right? But we brought it up earlier. These European sides have really struggled with the heat. Just point blank. Yeah. It's been a problem for them. Like, Inter today was cooking in Charlotte. Like, you could just see the players melting down. I talked about it last week, Cam, and I called them soft, but they were actually smart. Both German teams are making the teams just sit in the club in the dressing room all game. Like, they have any reserve. They're not on the sideline. Yeah, they're sitting in the air conditioning in the room. And they call you into the game, and you come out from the room after. And the Germans are the only ones doing it, Dortmund and Bayern Munich. But I tend to think of the Germans as pretty smart people, so I'll take I'm like, yeah, you guys are on to something.
I agree.
Here,
I'm with the German theories. Like, these guys got to figure it out. Who wants to burn in the sun?
When I first saw it last week, I mocked it. I saw Dortmund sitting in the room. Remember, Mo? I tweeted. I'm like, God, I bet on these guys. What kind of wusses are they? They're sitting in the room and all the air conditioning there. I'm like, it's not even that hot, but like clearly it is for them. So you know what I'm saying? It's better. It's better for them. It's going to be a problem in the World Cup, Mo. It's going to be hot in the USA next summer, bro. In Mexico, you're going to be playing in Mexico in the summer. It's going to be hot.
Yeah, and we spoke about it last week, right? You know, a lot of these teams are starting to scout where they're going to be in North America or even in Mexico. And remember, the last European domestic game, I believe, is done May 23rd and May 24th. Then you got Champions League, and then you guys then you go to your clubs for national prep, right? So really, a lot of these European
that's wild. They're playing the Champions League next year, dude. The Champions League as like plays. It's like 2 weeks after the World Cup starts. It's insane.
Yeah, and a lot of these European guys won't be with their national base team probably until like early June, right? And that means you don't really have much time to adapt. And we don't know where these guys are going to play, first of all, right, for sites and dates and all that. But think about the games that will be in dome stadiums like LA and Dallas, wherever else. That might help. But if you're going to play Miami, New York, Santa Clara, even when it gets pretty hot at that time of year, it can be very tricky for these teams here.
Who won when it was in the United States? Brazil, yeah, in past. That's right. Right, like there's a certain thing like where European teams don't win in hot weather places. Right, and the South American teams don't win when it's in Europe. You know what I mean? Like Brazil doesn't win the World Cup when it's in Europe. Like they just don't. Like it's like a road thing for them. U.S. is almost neutral, right? I mean, like it's sort of it opens up the door for like the Argentinas and the Brazils, I think, because I could see England struggling, guys, in the heat next year. I can see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can see France panicking, like playing like, they're all praying they don't get put in hot places, guys. Like these big teams. Like Vancouver's perfect for them. It won't be that hot. You're in the dome. It's like, you know what I'm saying? There's the roof and stuff, but like these players we're talking about, like Madrid said they didn't like LA, but they played better in Seattle. And they said because it wasn't as hot in Seattle, right? They played like at nighttime in Seattle and they played in the afternoon at the Rose Bowl. Big difference. Right. And it's a hot summer right now, but it's a fun tournament, man. This is wild stuff. Anyone to sign. In fact, we'll do the best of X on the other side. We got the Fluminense fans partying earlier in the day and celebrating their win earlier in the day. Tomorrow we got a couple of more games. Dortmund, the team that I took to win it all, is a long shot. Still alive. They play Monterrey from Mexico tomorrow. All right, Mo, we were talking hockey. Montreal Canadiens kind of already made their move. What's the feeling about the Noah Dobson acquisition of Montreal right now? It seems like, from what I see online, it's not really, it's a little bit split of, all right, this is great. And I see the others, of course, the modern internet tool bag has to hate everything and said, oh, they're overpaying them. What are you hearing?
They want to build a statue of Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon outside the Bell Center because you look at that trade that they bring in. You didn't have to give up Mayu or Reinbacker to get Dobson. And yeah, you might have to pay a little bit more because you're paying him 9.5. And what do you have to pay Lane Hudson, who will be a free agent after next season? But now the focus is on what do they do at the second line center, the 2C spot. Is it Jordan Kyrou that they're going to bring in? And now there's talk that maybe the Blues
if they
and
pick
the
up Jordan Kyrou, that guy's one of the most underrated players in the league. He actually fits Montreal perfectly, Gabe and Mo. He's so fast. And by the way, these guys don't know what they're talking about. Dobson he's a very good defenseman, and that's what Montreal needs.
Team Canada.
Yes. Like, I don't understand people's takes on this stuff. Like, you watch hockey every night. Dobson, Gabe, that guy's good. Like, Montreal's doing good things. Leafs are losing Marner. They're picking up players. Give me a break.
In this market, guys, like this year, you can really only get one player. And the Canes got their guy. Like, there's just not that many players available. Now people have to pay for Ehlers now, right? He becomes that top guy. I really don't. So you're saying about the Canadians, Mo? They're looking at Kyrou, or what else are you hearing?
Kyrou's the guy that they want to look at. And, if they give up Mayu or one and Matheson, whatever combination it might be, if it does happen, it definitely puts that conversation talk that maybe they'll be a contender in their division with Florida going towards next spring. So happy times in Canadians land. And if they do get Jordan Kyrou, definitely changes the outlook of this team going towards training camp in September.
Man, I remember in the late 80s, the Canadians fired Pat Burns because they lost the Stanley Cup on home ice. Now they're building statues for Noah Dobson.
As we know, it's just we enter every year and it's, is this the Ravens' time? Is this Lamar Jackson's turn? Can they get past the Chiefs and all of these other, stalwarts of the AFC? But it's always really about Kansas City when we're talking Baltimore.
This potentially, Adam, as I send it back to you, potentially is a game changer in that you get a very talented quarter at a discount price.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
We are seeing unbelievable temperature surges over the past couple days. So I wanted to ask you this question to let the people know, how do we account for that in our handicapping? Two good pitchers on the mound, but you look at a place like Wrigley Field, let's just say, 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, 90-plus degree temperatures. Is it almost like you say to yourself, you just have to fade the environment and not worry about the pitchers, because if we're hitting fly balls, they're going yard?
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
It was the first time, I think, in Dodgers history that the ballpark was full in the first inning. Everybody was there to see Shohei Ohtani throw his first pitch as a Dodger, and I had mixed emotions about this for a few reasons. Number one, it was a reminder of, wow, this is so crazy, right? You're watching him hit 98, 99, even 100 on the radar gun going, this guy's not human. Nobody should be able to be this good of a hitter or this good of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
I can't even believe I'm saying pitcher's battle and using the words Patrick Corbin. But can I tell you, Scotty, he's a different guy. He's a totally different guy with the Rangers than we've seen.
I say this all the time. Don't worry about the first 5 innings. Don't even watch the first 5 innings in Texas Ranger games. Because for whatever reason, there's a ton of runs scored in the first 5, and then it just stops. It just stops.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're into the 120th minute right now, and have only added 3 minutes of extra time as of right now. And in fact, is it over? The coaches seem to be hugging. And it is it done? It is done. Al Hilal knocks Man City out of the tournament. Al Hilal, massive upset. Although it really isn't that big of an upset. It is and it isn't. Like, from the names of the teams, it is. But Man City were minus 400 on the money line. Right. Put in context, Canada were minus 300 on the money line like yesterday. And nice to see another choke job by Canada soccer. Canada soccer, Canada basketball is the same thing, man. It's just all talk. What do you think, Mo? It's just like, you know what I mean? It's just talk. What?
Canada soccer, yeah, I'll talk. Yeah, it's true though. Like, you know what it is? Never win a clutch game other than a hockey game. Like, if, you know what I mean? Like, goes to overtime. I'm like, I feel pretty good. You're right. Other sports,
there's no other way of saying it. It's a massive disappointment. Like anything short of making the final of this Gold Cup, and losing to Mexico maybe, but like even losing in the final would have been upsetting. But truth be told, they weren't that good, Mo, in this tournament.
No.
They had the one game against Honduras. They rolled Honduras. They scored 6 goals, and they left it on the pitch after. And Jesse March, sort of what you said off the top. Yeah, if, like Jesse March said, well, look what happens. He goes, we play in the USA. We play all over the world. We never host these things. And he goes, look, we played one home game. We won 6-0. He goes, you go on the road. It's not the same. And he's got a point there, but still – like the excitement, listen, the World Cup, there's going to be excitement. They didn't have Alphonso Davies, and no excuses, but they did lose a lot of players. They lost, 2 guys from the Whitecaps actually, and they're actually good. So like they didn't have their top teams, but so I'm not using it as an excuse. But the fact that they blew the lead to Curacao, they blow the lead to Guatemala. These aren't exactly like France and Brazil's of the world here, Mo. Let's just be real. There's no sugarcoating this. That was a massive failure.
Yeah, and if this is any other federation, they fire their coach going into a World Cup year, right? We're less than 12 months away from the first game for Canada. And there's some serious questions because reality is, guys, they'll have minimum 6, maybe 7, 8 games to prep before World Cup next June. And in those 6 to 8 games, they got to figure out their lineup and who's going to fit where and whatnot here. And I just think that they had a great opportunity without an Alphonso Davies and others in the lineup to see what these guys are made out of, and they didn't prove much. And now Jesse Marsh has some serious questions to ask about the players coming up in the next 6 to 7 months, what they can do in their club teams, whether it's in Europe or MLS, if they can be that man or that team to come out there if called upon. So really, yeah, disappointing here for Canada. And now moving towards these next 12 months, especially in the next window of games in September when they have those friendlies, they got to start building up, guys, towards June 15th, whenever the first game might be, that they are going to perhaps win a World Cup game and maybe get a group stage, depending who they get in their group, when we'll find out December 5th.
They should. Like I said, I'm not like, the sky is falling and that. Like I said, the injuries were real, but also they're going to get the benefit of playing in their home country, right? So they're going to get, it will make a difference, right? They'll get the pop of that. They'll have Alphonso Davies back. Like they lost everybody. Like Buchanan was arguably their best player. And, when he's not there, you got a massive problem suddenly. But this tournament, I've watched it all with the Gold Cup. None of these teams are very good. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they could all beat each other. Like we saw with Costa Rica and the United States. It went to penalty kicks, right? Their goalie was able to make a save. That's the thing, too. Crepeau should have been the goalie and not St. Clair. I was worried about that. I posted about it before the tournament started. They seem to want to push St. Clair into the starting role. And St. Clair is better in MLS. He's got better numbers. He's got like a bunch of shutouts, and he's really good in the MLS. He is. But in international play, Crepeau's got more experience, and we needed a freaking stop in a penalty kick yesterday. You know what I mean? Like you got to come up with one, especially when we get to 7. I don't even blame the blonde kid, the young kid, for ripping it off the crossbar. But it's another thing, too, guys. It's a fine line between winning and losing, but Canada suck at penalty kicks.
They do.
They do. Like it happened in the World Cup when they made Alphonso Davies took the kick instead of David. Davies missed against Belgium, and it sort of just went all downhill from there. But we've seen this. Canada lose anytime it goes to penalty kicks. Generally, Canada ends up losing.
Right, like Copa America game last year in Atlanta. Was it last year, 2 years ago? They won in PKs against.
That was the only. That's the only time, though. Gabe's right. Like like look at the percentages. They won the Copa, but they've lost all the other ones in big matches. Sure. They're not good.
And then after, off the top of my head, I think they lost to Uruguay after in PKs, which is actually pretty admirable because Uruguay is pretty good.
Uruguay's good,
very good. Yeah. Like you know what I'm saying, but. Like I say, it is what it is. They weren't going to win the World Cup. That's why I was hoping for a Gold Cup, but. it's sort of like the Canada basketball stuff. It's like, oh, SGA is the best, MVP of the league, and he wins the championship, and this and that, and they have all this NBA success. Well, we didn't even freaking medal in the Olympics last year or 2 years ago, whenever the hell it was. Like, you know what I mean? That was a big failure. There's just a lot, we're sort of letting these golden generations pass without any success. Let's just call it out for what it is. We'll see if Canada's got to get an effing medal, man, in the Olympics in LA in 2028, but there's no guarantee they will. There's a lot of good countries. All right, Mo, Pittsburgh Steelers, they bring in Jonnu Smith. They bring in Jalen Ramsey, but they do lose Fitzpatrick. So it's, it's not like, they did lose a very good football player here. But it's pretty clear that the Steelers are getting aggressive in what they think will be a one-year deal with Aaron Rodgers here right now.
Yeah, it is. It really is. They're all in. DK, Jalen, Jonnu Smith, who Arthur Smith knows very well from his time in Tennessee, to bring him into the system. They're going to run a lot of 3 tight end sets, guys, right? Because they realize that A-Rod's not going to throw 45-yard bombs like he did in his heydays when he was quarterback in Green Bay. But you look at the Pittsburgh schedule, guys. Their bye week comes, I think, week 5. And after Thanksgiving, they play Baltimore twice, Detroit, Buffalo, and at Cleveland, where they lost last year in the snow game on Thursday Night Football. So their schedule isn't that easy when you look at the beginning.
Yeah, but you know what, Mo? You're skipping the first month of the season for the Steelers, which is very favorable. So, this is where, the Steelers open up against the Jets, ironically enough, in New York. You can't make that up. Seahawks at Steelers. There's some winnable games here for them.
As we know, it's just we enter every year, and it's like, is this the Ravens' time? Is this Lamar Jackson's turn? Can they get past the Chiefs and all of these other stalwarts of the AFC? But it's always really about Kansas City when we're talking Baltimore.
This potentially, Adam, as I send it back to you, potentially is a game changer in that you get a very talented quarter at a discount price.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We are seeing unbelievable temperature surges over the past couple of days. So I wanted to ask you this question to let the people know, how do we account for that in our handicapping? 2 good pitchers on the mound, but you look at a place like Wrigley Field, let's just say, 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, 90-plus degree temperatures. Is it almost like you say to yourself, you just have to fade the environment and not worry about the pitchers, because if we're hitting fly balls, they're going yard?
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
It was the first time, I think, in Dodgers history that the ballpark was full in the first inning. Everybody was there to see Shohei Ohtani throw his first pitch as a Dodger, and I had mixed emotions about this for a few reasons. Number one, it was a reminder of, wow, this is so crazy, right? You're watching him hit 98, 99, even 100 on the radar gun going, this guy's not human. Nobody should be able to be this good of a hitter or this good of a pitcher.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
I can't even believe I'm saying pitcher's battle and using the words Patrick Corbin. But can I tell you, Scotty, he's a different guy. He's a totally different guy with the Rangers than we've seen.
I say this all the time. Don't worry about the first 5 innings. Don't even watch the first 5 innings in Texas Ranger game. Because for whatever reason, there's a ton of runs scored in the first 5, and then it just stops. It just stops.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just quickly to wrap it up, I've said it before, and now I sound like a jackass Canadian NHL fan that hates everything about everything all the time. But we've said it for years, and Cam knows it. We've said Canadian women, they're the only one. They don't choke. The Canadian women are good. You notice at the Olympics and stuff, the women carry things. But Canadian men's teams, like Mo said, there's something about it. They win a couple of games. We're going to win the gold medal. We're going to win a gold cup. I fell for it. We're going to win a gold cup plus 600. Great bet. It was a great bet. You couldn't even get into the semifinals. And the tournament sucks. Guatemala, Curacao, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just being sorry, Curacao and Guatemala, but it's embarrassing for Canada. It's shameful. Wasn't shameful for Fluminense though today. Look at these guys celebrating in Rio today. This guy pick his kid up.
These guys get it. Eh? Like, it's party time. Like, it's just
look at these guys.
Amazing.
Never dull moment in Brazil.
Yeah. So when people say, the tournament, look at the tournament. This guy's praying here. He's on the ground.
Praying in the sand. The best.
These guys are getting down, praying, and
I love it.
Wow, that was earlier today in Rio as they watched. Look at this guy. Yeah, he reminded me, Kim. He's like the lady dressed like the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
He's in the front with a sign. I believe. I believe.
That's awesome.
Here's a throwback
passion.
too. Batting stance guy out there. He does videos of all former players. Great stuff.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Tim Raines.
Rodney
Scott. He nails them too.
Yeah.
Andre Dawson.
This guy's perfect.
Gary Carter. Yeah. No, that batting stance guy rocks. He does like every team, from the 80s. He's got it down. Look, Larry Parrish.
Oh, that's amazing. High shoulder.
Ward Cromartie, the Crow.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Tim Wallach. Jerry White. I like that. Yeah, batting stance guy. Little love for the Expos. I was watching Wimbledon today, and there was a big fat guy sitting in the front row watching Wimbledon. He looked so out of place too. It was like he had ice cream stains on his T-shirt. It looked like George Costanza. He had a red T-shirt on. It looked out of place. Like there was all these people at Wimbledon. And it was like a fat guy in a red T-shirt and a red Expo hat, just stuffing his face watching the tennis all day. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Expo guy today at Wimbledon. I'm sure it's on Twitter somewhere. All right, CFL football. We'll get Mo's picks quickly before we get out of here tonight. Me and Cam will be on tomorrow, despite it being Canada Day, and we'll be on the 4th of July later in the week as well, on Friday. It's a 4th of July special. So, Mo, CFL football, Thursday night football. Calgary's going all out here. They created a Stampede Bowl. They made a trophy. They got Brett Michaels of Poison playing at halftime. The Calgary Stampede set to begin, so they're going all out here. They're getting 3.5 points against the Bombers on Thursday night football. Who do you like here, Mo?
A little bit worried about Bombers because they're banged up, and Calgary coming off the bye week. Give me the Stamps to win that game. I think the Calgary Stampeders will make a big statement win over the Bombers and keep that West Division open for them and Sask as well.
Friday night football, Hamilton and Toronto, both teams coming off of big wins. Impressive win for Hamilton. And McLeod Bethel Thompson, you can always say, wow, it was his first game he started in a while, but that was a massive drop-off, Mo. That was pretty pathetic, actually, by the Alouettes on Friday. Let's call it out for what it is.
Yeah, look, I think Toronto, big win on Sunday in Ottawa. And I think Ottawa is overrated, by the way. I don't think they're that great of a football team. But this will go on the over, and I think Toronto does win to get themselves back in that conversation. I think Hamilton has some question marks themselves on defense. Even on their offense, they've not really moved the ball with the offensive line yet. I think Toronto has a little bit more answers than questions as we speak now towards Friday Night Football.
BC at Montreal on Saturday in Montreal. I'm looking forward to it. I've never seen the Alouettes here in Vancouver yet. I'm going to go. They're playing in mid-August. I'm going to go. I think it's a Sunday afternoon. But BC at Montreal, Mo. BC, we only got 10 seconds here. BC are 5-point underdogs.
I'll be there. I think the Owls smashed the Lions. I think BC right now is in a nightmare and can't stop the run at all.
Are the Elks going to win their first game on Sunday against Ottawa?
Nope.
No. Well, this is their shot, Cam, for the Elks to get a win.
I agree. I might have to ride the Elks.
I'm with Mo. I was kind of high on Ottawa. They're just too beat up. They're too injured.
They are.
Other than that, you're on your own later.
just seem like a salary dump, and that's what the shocking part of it is. But also, let's take a look at this. From a Giants perspective, they have money to spend. People weren't taking their money now that they hit the trade market, and quite frankly, I thought they got a steal. You're talking about a guy that should be good in the major leagues for the next 7 to 8 years in his prime, and the going rate of a salary for a great baseball player from the free agent market, it's $300+ million. That's what San Francisco made out well.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What do you make of this price tag here?